Okay, yesterday we looked at Pharaoh's decree about the bricks and the straw and removing the straw, and they would have to still, the Egyptians or the Israelites have to make the same number of bricks without the straw. They would have to collect that themselves. Let's see how that works out in practice in verse 10 of Exodus 5. So the slave drivers and foremen went out and told the people, this is what Pharaoh says, I will not provide any more straw for you. Go and get it yourselves. Find it wherever you can. But you must produce as many bricks as before. Okay, that's going to sound great. So the people scattered throughout the land of Egypt in search of stubble to use as straw. So they had to go collect this themselves. Meanwhile, the Egyptian slave drivers continue to push hard. Meet your daily quota of bricks just as you did when we provided you with straw, they demanded. Then they whipped the Israelite foremen they had put in charge of the work crews. So the Egyptians were over this. Then they had Israelite men that would actually direct the work crews that were making these bricks and doing the construction and things. So they kind of had their own people over them on a, immediate supervisor kind of level. Well, they whipped them. Verse 14, then they whipped the Israelite foremen. Why haven't you met your quotas either yesterday or today? So this is interesting. Immediately upon Moses confronting Pharaoh to start the process of removing the people from Egypt, it doesn't get better, it gets worse. I mean, it's brutal. It talks very clearly here, people being whipped. So this shows the hard-heartedness and the evil within the Egyptians that did this. These Egyptian overseers, these slave drivers, as they're referred to in verse 13. They're evil. Their actions are evil. Pharaoh's actions are evil. So when you confront evil, when you confront sin, many times, especially within a culture like this, you will receive pushback, right? Expect that. When you call sin, sin, expect pushback. Don't be surprised by it. And one of the things that's happening here also is God's going to make it tough on everybody. The people have to be ready to flee. And so God's got to put them through some of these things to bring them to a place of trusting solely in Him and Him alone and being ready to leave Egypt. So God's kind of breaking them down some, and He's using some harsh methods. I'm not saying He's not, but sometimes God uses difficult, tough things that we as people think is harsh in order to bring us to a place of total dependence on Him, where then we find blessing, we find comfort, we find peace, we find joy. That's where He's trying to get them to. And it's going to take time. But in this, Egypt is showing who they really are. And God will punish them accordingly. See you guys later. Have a great day.